What if I told you the most powerful weapon of the Cold War wasn't a bomb, wasn't a tank, and wasn't a missile? What if it was something so small it could rest on your fingertip? In 1977, two superpowers stared each other down with nuclear missiles, tanks, and spies. But the real battlefield wasn't in the skies. It was smaller than a fingernail, silicon. While the Soviet Union poured its strength into steel, oil, and raw power, something unexpected was happening in California garages and laboratories. A quiet revolution was underway, one built on microchips, not missiles. At the heart of the Cold War was a race for speed. Whoever could process information faster would see first, strike first, and decide first. America understood this. The Soviet Union didn't, at least not in time. In Silicon Valley, companies like Intel were shrinking entire rooms of computing power into tiny pieces of silicon. Each year, chips doubled in power and dropped in cost. Moore's Law wasn't just a theory, it was a weapon. The US military quickly adapted. Smart missiles, precision-guided bombs, satellite imaging, and real-time battlefield communication became possible. Wars were no longer fought by sheer numbers, but by data. The Soviets tried to keep up. They stole chip designs, they copied Western computers. But copying innovation is not the same as creating it. Their centrally planned economy slowed everything. A new chip that took months to design in America could take years to approve in the USSR. By the time it reached production, it was already obsolete. And then came the fatal mistake. The Soviet Union underestimated consumer technology. Personal computers flooded American homes. Kids learned to code. Startups exploded. Competition fueled speed, creativity, and risk. In the Soviet system, innovation required permission. In Silicon Valley, innovation required imagination. By the 1980s, the gap was impossible to close. American jets could strike targets they couldn't even see with the naked eye. Soviet systems relied on older, slower electronics. One side fought with algorithms, the other fought with manpower. When the Soviet economy began to collapse, it wasn't because of a single war or leader. It collapsed under the weight of technological inferiority. Factories couldn't modernize, communications lagged, military spending skyrocketed just to stay relevant. Silicon Valley kept moving forward, relentlessly. In 1991, the Soviet Union fell. No missiles were fired in victory, no final battle was fought. The Cold War was decided by engineers, programmers, and entrepreneurs, people who never wore uniforms. So when we ask how the Silicon Valley beat the Soviet Union, the answer is simple. Power no longer came from who had the biggest army. It came from who could think faster. So, the final question is, how do you lose a war without losing a war?